Here, darling, take some Civil War condoms. I don't need this many. I'm not that active anymore. Hello again, sports fans. Rose Biederman here, sports lady, and today we have a treat. A legendary member of the championship New York Knicks, Earl the Pearl Monroe. Welcome, Earl.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
Earl, you're a legend. You're one of the greats. You're revered. You're respected. Stats up the ass, MVP this, MVP that, Hall of Fame. What does the Pearl stand for?
Well, that happened when I was in college. I was averaging over 53 points a game.
Can I cut you off, darling?
Go for it.
I'll tell you a small story. You're not going to believe this. My sister-in-law's name is Pearl. An asshole. Selfish like you wouldn't believe. Doesn't lift a finger. Comes to the house empty-handed. Not even a babka. It's very sad. But that's not like you. Who was the greatest player ever?
Oh, probably Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain, fat. Let me tell you something, Earl. The 20,000 sexual conquest, I want to stop the rumor right here. You know, and you could back me up, because you were around in that time, I never had a drink with him, not even a wine spritzer. Although, there was another 7-footer of your day. I think you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to mention any names, but I did fool around with him for a little while. I'll tell you a funny story. I was covering my usual beat. And I'm at a game, and he goes up for a rebound, the 7-footer. Meanwhile, a guy half his size cuts in front of him and grabs the ball. So I jump up and shout, "Box out, you 7-foot schmuck!" And he had never heard a lady talk like this. And then he got even more excited when I said, "It's fundamentals that win ball games, you big pussy!" And I'm right about that. Am I right, Earl?
No question.
But it turned him on, and I could see you're getting a little turned on, too.
Yeah, I saw those Civil War condoms.
Ah, you see? There you go, my kind of guy. So anyway, we go back to my room. He turns the light on, I turn it off. He turns it on, I turn it off. Finally, he turns to me, he says, "Can I call you Mommy?" Call me Mommy? I said, "Grab your shit and get the hell out of here, you 7-foot freak of nature." You're 6'3", you're gorgeous, but over 7, that's a lot of crap, you know?
I haven't had the experience.
Yeah, no. You know, Earl, I have to say this. I admire you. You're sitting under these hot lights. You don't even break a sweat. I have guys in that chair, 60 seconds. They're sweating and stinking up like pigs.
Oof.
One in particular, I don't want to mention any names, but he's on the Kansas City Royals, okay? It was so disgusting, I had to put one of those pine tree car things around his neck to cut down on the stench. I drive a Cutlass Supreme. It drives like shit. What are you driving?
I drive a Lincoln Continental.
Oh, pardon me, a Lincoln. Oh, Myron, we're out of time? I didn't have time to ask you about your record-producing career. I love that rap music, that kooky, zany rap music. You do that?
I love it.
Yeah, it turns me on. One last question, Earl.
Yes.
Doggy style, pro or con?
Con.
You see, I told you, Myron, you son of a bitch. Under 7 feet, always con. You'll come back, you're an angel, and I love those pearly whites. This is Rose Biederman, sports lady. Bye-bye.
Sports Lady with Rose Biederman was brought to you by Diaphragms of the Old West, a brand to remember.
Don't be embarrassed, darling. I used to work the concession stand at a Turkish bath. Hello again, sports fans. Rose Biederman, sports lady, and do we have a treat for you today? Two of the most exciting and fascinating men in the world of wrestling, the Power Twins. Hello, boys.
Hi, Rose.
You two intrigue me. You're gorgeous, you're virile, and you're twins. And I'll tell you, want to hear a small story? My sister-in-law took fertility drugs, and she had twins. Siamese, okay, they were scary, but they had gumption. They got off their ass and joined a sideshow and made a very nice living for themselves, mind you, because who doesn't like a good sideshow? I could stare at those freaks for hours. They fascinate me. What'd you pay for those tattoos? Are they expensive?
Oh, this one's about $100, Rose. I heard you had the same one on your butt.
How did you know? Telling tales out of school. Let me ask you boys a question.
Okay.
Did you ever get slammed down so hard that your asshole popped out?
Never once my
Did I
gonads
cut you off,
rotated.
boys? Because I have something interesting to tell you. I went with a wrestler once. It was an interesting experience. He was whining me and dining me like you never saw, but there was a performance problem. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't my fault, boys. Don't look like that. Not my fault, because I had my tights and my creams. I got oils, a feather boa I'm doing with dances, but still his chokehold was a little soft, if you get my meaning. But I don't give up. I'm Rose Biederman. I'm not a quitter. I said, we're getting help. We're going to a doctor. So we go to the doctor, and I said to the doctor, I'm not getting enough attention. I need him to be at attention, if you understand my meaning. And the doctor's just staring at me because I'm on all fours, shaking my tuchus and hollering like a fishmonger. And then he says to me, very smart, he says, Rose, this guy is not for you. He's, how do you say? I'm as sentimental as the next gal, boys. But 10 minutes later, I dump him. P.S. Next week, the doctor and the wrestler go to Club Med together, all right? I see, boys, you're staring at my chest like I'm the mechanical Lincoln at Disney World. You want something, ask for it. You'd be surprised what my answer would be. What, Myron, we're done already? Damn it, I wanted to ask you if you bathed together because I find that so sexy. One last thing, okay, Myron? Doggy style, pro or con?
Pro. Woof, woof.
Did I tell you, you son of a bitch, Myron? I'm right every time. Come back soon. You're fascinating. You're articulate. You're gorgeous. I love you. This is Rose Biederman, Sports Lady. Bye-bye.
Guests of Rose Biederman receive a case of Tits and Ass beer. Next time say, I'll have tits and ass.
Hello again, sports fans. Hey, sweetheart, dry yourself properly. You'll get a rash. I am very pleased to have our first guest here tonight. He is a sports legend. You might also recognize him as Tony Danza's brother on Who's the Boss? The one, the only, Ray Boom Boom Mancini. How are you, Ray?
How are you? Fine.
So glad to have you.
Thank
How
you.
you been?
Very good, thank you.
Let me ask you a question. You're an actor now, right?
Yeah.
You just did an off-Broadway play.
Right.
There was a movie made about your life. Tell me about it. What was the name of it?
It's called Heart of a Champion, Ray Mancini.
Can I cut you off for one moment, sweetheart? May I just want to say that to me, the greatest boxing movie of all time was Raging Bull.
Sure.
You know that movie?
Oh, it was great.
To me, that was a classic. Not that yours was crap, but let's face it, who saw it? But there's a scene in that movie that was so moving to me. Bobby De Niro is in his boxer shorts. He walks to the window, sticks his head out and shouts, Larry! Larry! I'm gonna get a hold of your dog and I'm gonna make him a sandwich. You hear me, Larry? Who's an animal? Your mother's an animal, you son of a bitch. You gotta find that dog dead in the street. You remember that, Boom Boom?
Well, actually, it was Larry. I'm going to eat that dog. Your mother's an animal. That's
No,
factual.
he said, who's an animal? Your mother's an animal, you
You're right.
son of a bitch. I'm gonna hold that fucking dog and you're gonna find him in the street. Remember that?
You're right, that's
That
it.
to me was boxing, Boom Boom. You know what I'm saying? That was real life. Speaking of boxing, you're an expert. Have you ever been hit so hard you wanted to shit? Because I have. You're laughing because you're attracted to me. I know, it's hard for you. You know, I once went out with a boxer. Big, strapping young buck, gorgeous guy. Not that bright, but, you know, sweet. But he used to come in the city, and I would show him a good time. One night, we're up at my house, and we're laughing, having fun, drinking. All of a sudden, he jumps up. Rose, Rose, I have to whiz, I have to whiz. I said, go, you know, mi casa, su casa. The mashugana peas in the cat litter box. Did you ever hear such a thing? Even after I taught him about the toilet, I'd say, go like a person. He'd still miss the bowl half the time. But you boxers, you pee anywhere, you like dogs. You have any hobbies?
I like to write. Do a
You
lot of
write?
writing. Do a
Oh,
lot of
my
writing.
God, I'm impressed with you. You box, you act, you write.
Oh, boy.
You could do anything to me anytime, sweet. Oh, look, I'm getting a signal from the producer. We're out of time. Could you believe this? We've been having so much fun. One last question. Doggy style, pro or con?
Oh, definitely pro.
You see, I knew it. It's right. I told you, Myron, you son of a bitch. I knew it. I know my boys. We have a bet going on. Rose Biederman, sports lady. See you next week.
Guests of Rose Biederman receive Spamby. Spamby, it's a meat product toy.
And remember, do not put in mouth or rectum. Watch out with that thing. You're gonna poke somebody's eye out. Get out of here. Go, go. Hello again, sports fans. It's Rose Biederman, sports lady, and I couldn't be more pleased to have my guest today, defensive superstar Jeff Lagerman. How are you, Jeff? Well, I want to explain to the audience. He's like this. He has a cast on his leg. He got hurt. Let me ask you a question, Jeff. Did you ever get hit so hard you could shit? Because I have. That's happened to you, Jeff, hasn't it? I broke my leg once. Once I was hanging from a chandelier. A linebacker had me up there. He shouted penetration in the end zone. I slipped. I broke my leg. You remind me of another football player I knew, Jim Brown. Do you know him? Yeah. He's a legend. I'll tell you a story. Jim and I were very close friends. And Jim one day was doing a film in Mexico with Raquel Welch. Bitch on Wheels, that's another story. So Jim asks me to come down, and I go down to Mexico, and I'm in a cantina, and I'm drinking up a storm tequila. Do you drink? Because you look like a boozy kind of guy. Yeah, I know you football players. So I'm in the cantina, I'm drinking, and Jim walks in, he sees me drunk. He doesn't like a drunk woman, so he storms out, and I jump up for spite, and I scream, I'll leg wrestle the biggest, fattest Mexican in the joints. And a big, fat Mexican walks by, and I leg wrestle him, and I get him down in 2 seconds. Do you like a strong woman, Jeff?
Not really.
No.
I prefer to be the strong man.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, you and I have a history. Most people at home don't know this. I was very close friends with his old coach, Joe Walton. You know Joe. And Joe and I used to play a practical joke. I really did, on the rookies, where I would pretend I was a doctor. And I would come in and give them a delicious, warm, soapy enema. And, oh, they loved it.
I must have missed that one.
Well, no, what happened was, he calls me up, he says, I have a new guy, Jeff Lagerman. Gorgeous tattoo, right? You have a tattoo?
Yeah.
Which arm?
Right arm.
I could feel it. I love it already. So I come in to give you your delicious, warm, soapy enema. What happens? My gallbladder acts up and I get rushed to the hospital. You don't remember this, do you?
Disappointed I missed it.
Well, not to be disappointed any longer, sweetheart, because I have here for you the Rose Biederman IOU one warm, soapy enema. You could cash it in any time. This way I know I'll see you in the future.
How about after the show?
You're on.
You're on?
One last question. Quarterback controversy. Browning Nagel, Kenny O'Brien. Who has the better butt cleavage?
Browning's nickname's actually Meat, so...
Meat? Myron, we get him here next week. My producer's calling. We'll see you here again, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rose Biederman, sports lady. Bye-bye.
Guests of Rose Biederman receive vibrator phone. Vibrator phone for when you just have to talk into a big plastic dick.
Yeah. Norm, there's a call for you on the vibrator phone.
It must be an important call. Hello? This is Norm.
Hello again, sports fans. Rose Biederman and... Hi, don't worry, sweetheart. You have nothing I haven't seen before. I've showered with the Chicago Bears. Okay, I'm excited to have our first guest. Somebody very special. Been all pro more times than I've had husbands. 2, count them, 2 Super Bowl rings, 1 for each finger. Please welcome the New York Giants' own Lennox Marshall. Hello, gorgeous thing that you are.
Hi, Rosie.
How are you?
Fine, darling.
One of my
How are you?
favorites. I pull no punches, Lenny. You know me. I ask the hard questions right up front. Okay? New York Giants, quarterback controversy. Hostetler, Sims. Who's a better kisser?
Me, of course, Rosie.
Really?
I mean, look at these lips. I mean, with lips like this, you gotta be kidding me.
I'll tell you, your lips are gorgeous. As a matter of fact, your lips remind me of something in my past. Can I tell you a story, Lenny?
Tell me a story.
Years ago, do you remember the old Negro baseball leagues? Josh Gibson? Did you ever hear of him?
Yeah, of course.
We were involved.
Really?
Yes, years and years ago.
Jungle Fever before Jungle Fever.
Exactly. Before your rap music, before your Spike Lee, I had the Jungle Fever.
Okay.
And it was not allowed in those days. I'm 21 years old. I'm sneaking into hotel rooms in Memphis, Tennessee, marked for coloreds only. And I don't want, by the way, letters about the use of that term. I don't want Jesse Jackson up my ass. That's what they called it in those days. I'm a liberal. I know. Lenny knows. That's all that we need to discuss.
Right.
But I'm crazy in love with him, Lenny, and we did it every which way but loose. He flipped me around like a flapjack, I'm telling you. And even my parents loved him. And we found a rabbi he was talking about converting. I don't know if you know this, sweetheart, but I'm of the Jewish faith.
That's okay.
So, anyway, but it was a forbidden love. It was a taboo love. A mandingo love. And it wasn't meant to be. But I think you know the reason why I'm bringing this up. Because I feel wildly attracted to you. Do you feel the heat between us?
Oh.
One more question, dear.
Tell me.
Doggy style, pro or con?
I love it.
Myron, I told you again I'm right. You'll come back, please.
Are you kidding?
Leonard Marshall with me, Rose Biederman, sports lady. Bye-bye.
Guests of Rose Biederman receive It's a Belt merchandise. For the first name in quality, It's a Belt.
Hey, Leonard, can I see the ball?
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
During the tour of the world of hardcore TV, please keep all hands and feet inside the designated area.
Oh, extra large. Wear it in good health, sweetheart. Hello, everybody. Rose Biederman, sports lady, and I have a special guest today to die for. Hockey legend, Rod Gilbert. Welcome, my darling.
Bonjour.
Oh, the French. I almost called you Gerard Depardieu. I get all you guys confused. Rod, you ever been slammed into the board so hard you wanted to shit?
Yes, I have. You know, it's a very, very emotional game, this hockey.
Yeah,
and
you married?
Yes, I am.
Because I find all you hockey players are married to models. Ron Greshner married that beautiful Carol Alto. She's gorgeous.
Yes.
And a big talent, big star in Italy. But Gretzky, he marries the fakakta Janet Jones. Well, she did Dance Fever, fat. Then she tried to act. Hey, acting's a lot harder than running around half naked. And God knows I've tried both. You know, did you like the rough stuff in the game?
No, I didn't very much, but it was all part of the game.
Hockey is such a rough game. I love that. So masculine, and as Canadians, what more could you want? I'll tell you a funny story, Rob. I was in Manitoba. Cold as shit, okay?
Yeah.
I'm covering some minor league team, and I met a hockey player. He was like a toothless Maurice Chevalier with that je ne sais quoi, you know what I mean? So we go out, we knock back a couple of Molsons, and in broken English, I'm getting from him that he wants to, how could I say this? In your terminology, high stick me. You know what I mean, Rod?
Yeah.
We knock back a couple of more Molsons, Golden, because I think that's what you guys drink there. We get into the car. I think we're going to a hotel, a quaint little Canadian bed and breakfast. P.S. We end up at a transmission inspection garage, and I'm running around with nothing but a maple leaf. You like that, don't you? It turns you on. So meanwhile, we're doing it. All of a sudden, I don't know what overcame me. I yell out Gordie Howe's name. This did not sit well with him. He got so angry, he pulled my shirt over my head. He slammed my head into the boards like a Zamboni gone wild. But I'm from New York, baby. I kicked his ass. Next night, he scored 2 goals, 2 assists. You could have used me in your day, huh?
You're his good luck charm.
Yeah. Well, I think your career's over. What are you doing?
I work for Madison Square Garden. I'm involved in community relations.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And
Can I cut you off for a moment, Rod? Sure. If you had a brain in your head, you would have married a model. Because they make a fortune. You could have relaxed. You would have watched TV. You would have had a little fun, you know? Who's the greatest hockey player ever?
Well, was it in your day when Bobby Orr played, or a little after you?
I never liked him.
Well, I felt that...
Oh, no, Myron, we're out of time. My producer says we have to go, and I had so much to ask you, like which of those NHL players got all those groupies pregnant. I hope it wasn't you. One last question, darling. Doggy style, pro or con?
Well, the goalie never turns around, so you can shoot the puck, you know, like in the goal. So I think I'm a pretty regular type of guy.
That's a diplomat. Myron, I told you, you son of a bitch. Did I know this guy? Thank you so much for coming, Rod. This is Rose Biederman, sports lady. Bye-bye. Excuse me, boys, I have a show to do. Remember where we left off, okay, sweetheart? Aye. Hello again, sports fans. It's Rose Biederman, sports lady, and do we have a treat today? The Giants' own tight end, and I mean it, Derek Brown. Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm fabulous now that you're here. Look at this. Is he a specimen? You are a thing of beauty to behold. You're 6'6", 260 pounds. You're gorgeous. First-round draft choice with the Giants. No slouch expansion team, mind you. And you went to Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish. How drunk do those people really get?
Well, I have to admit,
On any given Saturday?
Can I cut you off here for a moment, Derek?
Sure.
When you're in the locker room, in the giant locker room, did any of those guys ever look at you?
No.
No?
No.
No? You sure? Because I've heard some stories.
Nah, they're all wrong.
Have you ever done it with a really fat girl? Because I have.
I can't say that I have.
I'll tell you a story. It's in the 50s, way before your time. And I was very close friends with a tennis star from Eastern Europe, one of those fakakta Eastern European countries, I don't even know. A little on the masculine side, but from within, a good person, a good heart. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
So after the game once, she says, you want to come up to my room for a couple of vodkas. You know from vodkas you played with the Fighting Irish, huh? So we're up in her room, and we have a couple of vodkas. Next thing I know, she leans over to kiss me. I figure she's a little misguided. I give her a big hug. 5 minutes later, the lights are off. I don't even remember what happened, but it went on for hours. Afterwards, I felt dirty and violated, but I loved it. It was wonderful. P.S. 2 days later, she's deported. We can't have commies running around telling secrets. The Berlin Wall can come down, but I still don't trust those commies. I'm a patriot first. Listen, I had a cousin who hurt his back in Korea, so don't tell me about the commies. He still suffers. Another question, Derek. You're in the locker room with those goddamn Dallas Cowboys, and you know how we hate them. Did any of those Dallas Cowboys ever try to bite you?
All of them.
Oh, Myron, we're out of time. I didn't have a chance to ask you about Phil Simms. He frightens me. One last question, darling. Doggy style, pro or con?
Pro.
Myron, you son of a bitch, I knew this one was a pro. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to look for you next year on that field. You're tight end, just running in and out. I love it. Rose Biederman, Sports Lady. Bye-bye.
Sports Lady was brought to you by Midget in a Tube. Science working for you.